welcome to the vlog today. It might get a little confusing today.
This vlog
but it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. Okay, so Crystal was over here a couple nights ago and she was saying that she did this video where she drew out her family situation. And so
I'm not an artist.
Everyone was saying that we should do that on our side. So today we are going to attempt it.
We're going to attempt it.
But I don't know, because when we were looking back, we really had a hard time putting this together, even though we lived it. I know, just dates and stuff. So.
It's mostly just the right dates and the right orders and, you know.
All that kind of stuff.
Okay, are we ready?
Are we ready? Okay, so let me know if I got something on this wrong.
Okay.
So, because I know that, yeah, it gets a little crazy. So we're actually going to go back, like back. So we're going to start when I was 17.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so Jared's going to be the one that's drawing it all out.
What year was that?
94. Okay, so in 1994, in the 1900s, that sounds so old, doesn't it? In the 1900s, I was 17 in high school. I was technically 16. I got pregnant at 16. I had Kylie when I was 17. But before I had Kylie, I did get married to Kylie's dad. So, okay. And then, so we had her, I think we got married in July of 94, and then we had her in November of 94. So, okay.
Okay, this is Kylie.
Then, Kylie's dad and I got a divorce. Oh, there he goes. And I met Jared in 2007. So that means, I think that Kylie was she, I don't know.
She was like 12.
I was gonna say 12 when we met.
Yeah, she was 12.
So 12 years old. I know a lot of you have questions about that. So you're like, so Jared is not Kylie's dad? How did that work? Yeah, so he was...
I did not have a previous marriage or anything like that, so...
Yeah.
So
and Kylie's dad, you've probably seen on Kylie's channel because he's been on there.
Yeah, that's true.
So we always get like funny remarks that like Shelly has a type because they both look so the same. So in fact, when I was meeting, when my ex's mom, so my ex-mother-in-law, she's a wonderful woman. You see her here at Christmas and things.
Kylie's grandma.
She wanted to know, so what does your new boyfriend look like? What is he? And I'm like...
Oh, and I totally heard this.
You did?
She was driving up in her Jeep of some kind.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, they do look the same.
I was like, he looks like your son. I guess I have a type.
I can totally hear it.
I have a type, so. Okay, so we had Kylie in 94.
Yes.
And then, okay, so Jared I met in 2007.
Right.
You got that. Okay. Then after an intervention by my mom and Crystal.
True intervention.
They locked me in a room and they were like, you need to have one more baby with Jared, or have a baby with Jared. Because I just wanted to adopt, but they talked me into it and now we have Landon. Landon. So he was born in 2008.
Yep.
You got that.
Got it.
Okay. From there, so we were living in
We were
Gilbert.
married, in 2007.
Yeah, we were living in Gilbert at that time, Gilbert, Arizona. And then because we really, really wanted to adopt, we knew we needed a bigger house because at that point we had a 4-bedroom house.
Yeah.
And so we looked and looked, couldn't find anything except for in Queen Creek, Arizona, which is like, it's like an hour drive from like where we were before.
Right, it's far, it's out there.
It's out there, but we moved into what I thought was like the biggest house I had ever seen.
It was big. It was a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. It was had a big loft.
I want to say it was like 2,400 square feet,
yeah,
but to me
huge.
It seemed like it was like just massive. So we were really excited. We got moved in there. We started our adoption classes, started everything. In fact, at this point, we actually only wanted to adopt. We did not want to do foster care at all. But we had one of our workers tell us that fostering is the best way to go because then they're in your house, you get to know them, and then you can decide at that point if you want to adopt. And we were like, okay, so we'll go that route.
Yeah.
So.
Very true.
Okay, so we moved to Queen Creek, and then we got Cody, Lacey, and Lizzie.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
So that was what year? I think
that was.
We probably got them around 2009, but like we adopted them in 2011.
Yeah. So we'll just do adoption dates. Listen, we took in like 70 kids, and so there's no way that
going through all of our foster kids. No,
way too much. So we're just going to talk about today the ones that we adopted or the ones that we considered adopted in our hearts. So, okay, Cody, Lacey, Lizzie, we got them in 2009. In 2011, we adopted them. So, and that was a crazy time for us, for sure, because we had did that move, we didn't realize that our agency didn't do that far away. And so because of that,
when you foster, you have to go through an agency. You don't go straight to the state. And that
agency only does counties. Well, we didn't know that.
We crossed the county line.
We crossed the county, and so we actually had to start our classes over again with another kid.
It was crazy.
And then we did the classes there, and then a caseworker came out, did our home study, and we just figured we were good. DCS started calling us, we started getting kids. Cody, Lacey, Lizzie were actually our second placement. And because we had lost the first. And when we went to adopt them, DCS is like, well, who's your workers?
Let's see your home study.
Yeah, see your home study. Well, to find out, when we called our place, they're like, we don't even have that you're with us.
We're
so
just like,
it was the worker who was with us, who did the home study, had quit, didn't turn our paperwork in. It was a nightmare. So it took us 2 years to adopt Cody, Lacey, and Lizzie because we had to start over.
It took a long time.
It seemed like a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time.
2 years now, you don't think of it, it's not that much. But okay, moving on. So then once we got, we adopted them, our caseworker, we thought we were done because
we're like,
our whole point
perfect. We adopted right in the middle of Landon and KYLIE was like perfect.
The whole point is because we had KYLIE, who was 12, and Landon as a newborn, or probably she was probably 13 at that point. But we just wanted to fill the middle was like our goal.
Totally,
so we thought we got Cody, Lacey, Lizzie, and we thought, yay, we did it. We filled the middle. We're good. And then our caseworker is like, actually, if you want, we have these kids that were like all split up into different group homes. And she's like, if you want to take all the siblings in, we can put them all together. And then if it works out, you can adopt them. So we were like, yes, okay, let's do that. Then we got, so that was Jonathan, Destiny, and Cynthia.
I'm trying to keep up. What year was that?
And so we adopted them in 2012. But in the middle of all that somewhere, we don't quite know how he fits in.
Somewhere in here.
Somewhere in there, because we got Connor. So Connor, he, I think he came to us in 2011. All I know is when we adopted Cody, Lacey, Lizzie, he was there at the adoption. So we know that he was with us in 2011.
It was somewhere around 2011.
He thinks he came to us before Jonathan, Destiny, Cynthia.
That is a possibility.
It is a possibility, but I feel like he came right after, or maybe it was within...
It was probably close.
I don't know. So bear with us as we figure this out.
We had him for about a year and a half.
Yeah, before. And then we lost. We lost him. Oh, that's hard to take kids off the board. And then we lost him. Yeah. Okay, then...
Lost in the system.
Then we moved to Mesa. So we moved. We move again. So we moved to Mesa, and then we got Trey.
Did we get Trey first? Oh, we did, that's right.
We got Trey. So Trey, we got him, I know it's 2015 because he was born 2015. He was 3 days old. I picked him up from the hospital, and it was like, I was so excited to have like a baby because I really thought we were just going to be taking in teens and older kids. And so to go to the hospital and pick him up as a newborn, I was just like...
There's not always a lot of babies
It's just
available.
not. I was just like so excited. I hadn't even told Jared yet. They called me. They're like, if you want to come get this baby, I was already in the car. I was like, God, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely yes. And so I went and got him from the hospital, and it's such a weird thing because they just like, here you go. And you're like, I'm just going to leave with this baby and this is legal? It's okay?
So she's all sneaking out.
I know I was sneaking.
I'm kidding.
And so I get him in the car, and my first memory of him, I don't even know. I was so excited. I was driving down the road, and I just was like filled with like so much love and excitement for him. And I had to pull over at a gas station, and he was sleeping, and I had to just open the back door, and I had to just sit and stare at him. And I just wanted him to wake up so bad because I was like, I just wanted to like hold him and love him. I was so excited to get Trey. So excited. So, okay, so at that point, That's gonna make me cry just thinking of
I know.
that.
We only had Trey for about a year.
Okay, but wait. While we had Trey, we took in Spencer and Weston. So we weren't supposed to I feel like we weren't supposed to, I don't know, at this moment, we said no. We said no to taking in Spencer and Weston, only because I felt like we had so many teenagers. I had a newborn at home. I felt like it was a lot. And then, so we kept telling the caseworker no. And then Cody at school, he's like, listen, one of my best friends, he's getting adopted around Christmas time. He's so excited about him and his brother, and he's telling us all about it. We're so excited for them. Well, to find out that was Weston.
Yeah.
Yeah, we called him Mike.
And his caseworker, who was our caseworker, was like telling him and
that
Spencer
we were going to say yes.
That we were going to say yes, and we were going to adopt.
So then we felt, how cool is that it was Cody's best friend? Like it's like meant to be. Yeah. So we did take in Spencer and Weston.
Yes.
And then, hold on before we get, you already put a date on there. That's okay.
I did.
And then we took in Mason. Mason was supposed to be just a weekend visit. They were like, listen, like it was Friday. They were like, he is coming in from a different state. If you could pick him up at the airport, have him until Monday, and then Monday they would find him a placement. And I was like, yeah, we can do that.
Totally fine.
Totally fine. So because we really were only into taking sibling groups, but Mason was just by himself. And so anyway, so we picked him up, fell in love with Mason. And so Monday she called.
Let him go.
Yeah, Monday she called. She was like, okay, I'm gonna find him a placement. I'm like, he's home.
Don't even bother.
He's home. So we took in Mason. Then we took in Jacob. So Jacob was one that also Jared said no because it was a single and we really were only taking siblings.
At this point it was hard because I don't think they fit in our car.
Right. We did have to get a new van in the middle of all this.
We have a 12-passenger van.
It was a 12, and we were like, thank goodness
we can't go over that.
We won't. I was like, why would we go over that? That's crazy.
Right, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, let's get the 12-passenger.
How many people is this? Although Kylie was already moved out at this point.
She was, yeah.
So Kylie doesn't count. So one, two.
I hope you're understanding this so far. I know it's a little confusing. So, okay.
Oh yeah, Mason was the one that took us over 12.
Okay, so then we were back to 2 cars. Oh no, then we got a shuttle bus.
Well, that was somewhere after that, yeah.
Okay, so then we have Jacob. Jacob was one that he had said no to.
I was like, we're good.
I just felt like it would just be perfect. Him and Landon were like the same age. I was like, that'd be so perfect. And so the caseworker's like, well, what if you just take him in for the weekend as like, you're just watching him and then you see how it goes. And I'm like, okay. So we picked up Jacob at a gas station. And he came around with his red hair, the cutest little freckled faced kid ever. I was like, yes, he's so cute. Of course, we definitely want him. He fit right in immediately.
Just keep him.
The kids, and Jared was like, yeah, we can keep him. So anyway, so we took in Jacob. And
they were all, okay.
Because they were all placed with us in pretty much like the same amount of time, they were able to make their adoptions as one.
Yeah,
so
which is rare. We got all 3 of them.
We adopted Spencer, Weston, Mason, and Jacob at the same adoption.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. But in that, we were really sad because we lost Trey. So, so Trey's, he left us at that point, and it was so devastating for our whole family.
It was rough.
Yeah. I just remember as he was driving away and the kids were just crying at the door. I was like, oh. That was rough. We lost Trey. Okay, then we take it. Okay, so now where are we? We're on Jacob.
Okay, we're on Jacob. And I think then we got Trey back.
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Is that what happened?
Oh, no. No, we got Aubrey, Addison, and...
Okay, we got Annabea. No, we got...
Oh, you're right.
We got Annabea and Braxton next. In this video, in the video, I have them like pop out of a box and then the whole family's excited. I don't know why I did that. I don't know. Looking back on that, I was like, that was weird. Anyway. Annabea and Braxton come in. Real quick though, okay, so
I think that was in 2016. In
2016, no, 15. Oh, I went too far. In 2015, let's see, February 15th of 2015, that's when we start YouTube. So
that's true.
We've been doing YouTube for a really long time. Okay, then, so we took in Annabea and Braxton. So Annabea came to us first, and then we saw in some paperwork that she had a brother, and then that's when we found Braxton. And so we were able to put them within a few months of getting Anavea, we were able to put them back together, and Braxton moved in with us. And then while we had them in our house, we got Aubrey, Addison, and Harlan.
I'll get there.
Sorry, I'm going way too fast for him. So Aubrey, Addison, and Harlan, they were a group that moved in. So a lot of kids would move in, and there's like an adjustment period. It takes some time. Aubrey, Addison, and Harlan, especially Aubrey, was just like, are you my new mom and dad? Okay, where do I sleep? She was just like,
oh, she was a bundle of energy.
This little bundle of energy, and they just did great. There was no adjustment period. It was like they'd been there the whole time. It was so quick.
Was that 17 or 16?
Okay, well, in 2017, we adopted Anavea and Braxton.
We got them in 2016.
We got them in 16. I was just gonna do adoption dates. Okay, so 2017. We also adopted Aubrey, Addison, and Harlan in 2017, both in
the same
May.
month.
Yeah, both in May. So they were just like a few weeks apart.
Yeah,
and
literally.
we adopted them too. Okay. Then wait. Oh wait. Well. Okay, so then we decided that we were going to move to St. John's, which is about 4 hours from here. But right before we were leaving, we got in Kaysen, and then within about a week or so, we got a call saying Trey was going to come back into care if we would want to take him in.
It was right before we left.
We were like, oh my gosh. I was like, do we not move to St. John's? Because I didn't know how that was going to work. And not only were we going to get Trey, but his sister, Brindley. And I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work. We went to the meeting about it and we said, listen, we're moving. And the caseworker was like, we don't even care. You can go ahead. And the same thing with Kaysen. And so even though we moved 4 hours away, they still placed us with them. So we were so excited.
We got all three of them right before we moved, and then we adopted them here.
So you need to add them here.
So I need to go down here. Is this 2018 then?
And this is, where are we? Yeah, 2018. So that's when we adopted them too. So we adopted Kaysen first, and then Trey and Brindley, right? Or is it the other way around?
I think
they were both in 2018. I think Trey and Brindley were last. I'd have to go back and look on the channel, but I think it went Kaysen we adopted, then Trey and Brindley, both in 2018. Oh, I like his stick figures. He's doing a good job.
I'm trying. Wait, did we actually? No, we didn't get everybody yet.
No, we're not there. We're not there yet, guys. We're almost there though. Okay. So then we moved to St. John's. We
moved back.
No, wait, you're not done. So then we got in Nicole. So Nicole is Jacob's sister. When they were younger, we really wanted to take in Nicole. We felt like Nicole was ours.
We did.
Very much so. The first time that we met her, Jared and I got back in our car and we both cried because we were like, she's supposed to be ours. She's supposed to be ours. We knew it. And so I had talked to the caseworker and she was already in an adoptive placement. And I said, if that falls through, please let us know because we really want to adopt her. And then she ended up being a runaway. So she was a runaway. We didn't know where she was. She
disappeared for like 2 years.
For a while, yeah. So anyway, we kept in contact with her, and even though our license wasn't open at that point, when she turned 18, she had a baby in that time. And so when she turned 18, we picked her up she went from group home to us.
Yeah.
And so that's when you see, those of you who've been watching us long enough, that she moves in with us at that point. And so we consider her adopted in our hearts.
That was 2020?
That was 2020, yeah. So she moved in with her daughter, Blake. Okay, this is a lot. We're almost
back to Mesa.
We moved back to Mesa. We actually moved to the same neighborhood in Mesa that we were in before because we love this neighborhood. It has such nice people. So we moved back to that. Then, we're like right here. We did good.
We did really good.
Okay. Then he's putting Connor in the book. I'm
putting it on there already.
Yay, then Connor comes back. So we find Connor, and he, as you can see recently, has rejoined our family, adopted in our hearts, although we would really love to adopt him. Because he was, I know he's 28.
He's 28.
Yeah, but because he was placed with us, we can adopt him.
Up to a certain point. I don't know what that point is.
I don't either. We're talking to lawyers and trying to figure it out. But you have to have the original paperwork the original notice to provider to prove that he was in your home. We just found that. We just found the paper. Jared brought it in the other day with Connor, and he's like, look what I found. So we still had
the original handwriting and everything.
Yeah, from all these years. Also, we still had his birth certificate. Like we had everything from his social security.
Social security card, birth certificate, everything.
We had kept that all these years, and then we had looked for him all throughout the years. As you just heard us on the channel, like say, Connor, if you're out there, let us know. So yeah, because he didn't know that we did YouTube, but yeah, we were so excited. So now he's back in. We feel like he was our missing piece because now it's all okay. Did you get it right? It has to count. So there's 22 kids altogether. I don't know. I feel like we did it.
We're good.
We did it?
We got it.
We did it?
22.
Okay, so 22 kids later, here we are. We say that we're not going to take it anymore.
We're not going to take it anymore, you guys.
I know. I feel
point,
like every time we say that, we take it more.
We're focusing on the 10 that are still in the home.
Yeah.
Plus we have 8 grandchildren already.
We do.
So we want to focus on that.
Yeah, we are. So, but that's our family story. Hopefully now it makes a lot more sense to you. I know it's a lot. So let us know if you have more questions down below, and we'll try to answer those. So, all right?
I think we got it. I think we did good.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.